Morning. Morning, Tracy. Morning, Paula. We'll get started here in a minute. Just gonna wait for folks to join us. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and display our risk disclosure. Risk disclosure in the meantime. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. So I have the risk disclosure up, and just to kind of remind everyone that the content that's being published and distributed by Market Trader is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to solicit to offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Again, use of this information contained is to be used at your own risk, and its companies, partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. Future trading does contain a substantial amount of risk and is not for every investor. An investor could lose all or more than their investment capital, and only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Nothing again herein is intended as a solicitation to offer, buy, sell futures, options, or forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay. All right. Now that we got the risk disclosure out of the way, we're going to go ahead and move into news. See what the news. We'll review our news portal here. Okay, looking at the news. So we have, looks like, I don't know if this report actually happened or not, but it looks like we had a tentative OPEC monthly report. We have a number of Fed members speaking throughout the day here. Okay. We have Fed Speaker Waller, Fed Speaker Barkin, Fed Speaker Kashkari, Fed Speaker Harker, and Barkin. Okay. We have a 11 a.m. report on New York Fed inflation expectations. Okay, which could move the markets as well. So looking ahead in the week here, Wednesday seems to be a heavy news day. Something to keep in mind. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move into the charts. Again, I will be reviewing the charts off the TopStepX platform. Before I get there, I want to make sure I have my my levels. Good morning, Trader Dubois. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so let's go ahead and move into the portal. So we'll stop share and share my platform. Sure. Okay. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and expand the gold. Okay, so let's see if I can locate gold. It's hiding. Okay, there it is. Okay, so let's start with a quick review of the weekly chart, and then we'll move on to get to okay. So weekly chart, it looks like we're starting the week down. Okay. We have uh we have some support, I guess, at 2620. Okay. But we've had a series and we've started, it looks like we've started the week down in gold. Okay. So the move in equities, okay, has moved funds away from commodities like gold over to equities, and I think that's kind of what's causing the result of the sell off here at the moment. Okay, but even with even with this sell off, again, if I look at this, from my channels here, right, we really haven't broken any significant structure here to the downside. Okay, let's see, body wick. No, that's not what. Let's see if I can change my. I'm gonna go with a little lighter opacity here. Something like this. Okay, so again, we really haven't broken any significant structure. I know it. This. It started at 2692, and now it's down to 2646. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good move. Okay, but technically, we really haven't broken any structure to the upside. Okay, once we get below, say, some of the levels that traded Dubois quoting 2620, we start breaking levels like that, then we start to open up the door for 2550. Okay, as a possibility for price to go. Okay, we're seeing. Let's see, maybe hide this and open up. DMI. Okay, so modify some of these things like usual. Let's see, we'll change this to green, change this to red. We won't use this and keep that. And we'll change that to more of a baby blue-ish. And we'll turn that off. Okay. So you can see that, again, from an ADX perspective, this is the first time we've actually seen this. We've seen the ADM indicator or ADX indicator kind of turn down, as well as the positive DI. So, like I said, we're still very much in bullish structure. There's nothing here that I would say that we should run to the hills or expect that there's going to be a big drop off in gold. We could still get a pullback, no doubt. I mean, like I said, 2500, 2550 is very much in the cards if we get below this channel. All right, looking at the daily chart. Okay, looking at the daily chart. So again, we've started the day down. Okay, in the gold market, we are at this. We're coming into an area of support here at let's call it 2627. Okay, 2627, maybe 2625, somewhere in that range. Okay, I would expect that would be supportive. But if we look at this, we're beginning to make a series of lower lows and lower highs, right? We've broken some support here. We're challenging some support now at 2625, and we have support here at 2582, and then down here at 2520, as Trader Dubois has highlighted. Okay. Now, if we look at our ADX indicator, well, the ADX indicator on the daily chart is saying that our negative DI has exceeded our positive, indicating that there's a fair amount of momentum in this move to the downside. Okay. So moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. Okay, so we're at the bottom, almost close to the bottom end of this channel. Again, we can see that you continue to see series of lower lows and lower highs. We've broken some structure here. Again, on the left here, we see 2657 was supportive for a bit, and then it broke. And like I said, if looking at this from the vantage point, what would be another level here? Well, we see here on the 4-hour chart. Looks like, as I mentioned, or as Trader Dubois has mentioned, 2620 seems like the next level of target in this market on the 4-hour. Okay. So again, the DMI indicator in this case is supportive of the current move. We have our negative DI above our positive. We're starting to see that the ADX indicator is starting to curl up, showing us that there is some momentum behind this move. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the 30-minute chart. Okay. 30-minute chart we'll take a look at here. We're going to go ahead and remove some of these levels here and kind of stretch this out here a little bit. Okay. So you can see, and I think the first thing I'm going to be drawing here is my fixed range volume profile. I suspect that we're below value from Friday. Okay. So let's locate the start of the session here. It's probably about here. We'll drag that across to the close right about here. Okay. So you can see that we are well below value. Okay. In this market, if I stretch this out as much as I can, this is going to have to do a little bit of a challenge to keep this both in the same page here. So let's see, make sure this is correct. Yeah. November 8th, 5:30. Yeah. So we have, let's see, we have the top end of value here. Okay, top end of value. Let's see if I can draw that in. Okay, this is value area high here. Okay, this is over here is value area low. Okay, so we're well below those levels. Okay, right, well below those levels. I'm going to go ahead and draw in my VWAP here. Okay, well, VWAP is already present. Next thing I'm going to be drawing here is my anchor VWAP. Okay, so anchor VWAP, if I can locate it, anchor VWAP right here. Okay, so our anchor VWAP, our daily VWAP, our value area, our price is below all of it. Okay, initial balance is being developed as we speak here. This is the first 30-minute candle. I'm going to go ahead and draw that in. Okay, so this is the top end of that. This is the bottom end that's still being developed. Okay, so let's say right about here. Okay, is our initial balance range. Okay, so we're going to change that to a yellowish color. All right, so that's our initial balance range. So yeah, so let's last thing we're going to add here is our levels. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and locate gold here. I know you guys cannot see the spreadsheet. We're just going to copy and paste off of that. Okay, so here we are. Oops. Okay, so there's our levels. We're just going to shrink this down here a little bit. Click OK. Maybe change this color to white. Might be a little bit more visible in this background. Okay, so there's our levels that we're tracking on this market. We have, let's see, we have supply areas coming in at 2665, which is well above the market. We have 4-hour demand areas, which looks like we've already exceeded here. So we probably need to locate some new demand levels I would say that probably, let's see, let's just take a peek here at the 4 hour again without losing this here. See, take a look at the 4 hour and see what other levels we're coming to. Well, I would say that 26.25, 26, yeah, 26.25 is probably the next logical level for this market, since we've already exceeded this 26.56 level that I have established here. So I'm going to go ahead and modify this to say, what is that level? Yeah, 26.25. Let's see, 26.25 and dot three, let's say. Okay, that's a demand level. And see, let's see what we can find here as far as a supply that's relatively close to the market here. I'm going to call this 2710 an area. Okay, so we'll modify this to 2710. That might be a 4 hour supply area that we want to make note of here. Click on OK on that. Okay, so we have settlement at 2694.8. If someone could confirm that for me, that would be excellent. But I believe that's correct. 2694.8 is our settlement price. We have value area high at 26.99 again, which is well above 26.99. Let's move this to 30 minutes. $26.99. That's, yeah, well above the market here. Oh, geez. Okay, so what to make of this market? Well, I would say that right now, I would say that right now we need to locate an area. If we're bearish, and that would not be something out of the question here, guys. But if we're bearish, obviously we're not going to pay retail, right? We're going to wait for price to maybe navigate back to an area where we could, manage our risk better, right? And that would probably be closer to. Let's see if I can find my tool that I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I would say that we probably we probably need to wait for price to pull back to some level. Ideally, something like maybe our daily VWAP or our anchor VWAP to support a continuation trade to the downside. Okay, that would be my plan A. Okay, is to wait for price to retrace a bit. Okay, because we are a bit, I would say, a bit overextended to the short side. If I'm long, okay, if I'm long the market, I probably need a better level, probably that 26.25 level on the 4 hour, okay, to really consider long trades, okay. 26.25 is probably that level, okay. I don't see anything to the left here that could offer me any kind of support to support a long. 26.94 is settlement. Okay, perfect. 26.94.8 is settlement. That's what I have here, Sergey. Okay, so to support, I don't really see a logical area to support a long. I think right now we need to focus in on ways that we can participate in this on the short side. Okay, 26.25 I think is probably the most logical level at the moment. There's certainly always the possibility of, like I said, we are a bit extended to one direction. There's always the possibility that we could get, since we're so extended, we could get maybe a failed auction, to the downside. Okay, and then a reversal maybe back up to VWAP. That's certainly not out of the question. Okay, but right now the sentiment on this market seems bearish. Okay, the higher time frames I guess, remain in bullish channels, but they're being challenged. Okay, those channels are being those channels are being challenged. Okay, so yeah, so I would say going into the session, we need to look to see if we do locate something in the way that would allow us to logically participate in this market. Participating in the short here is probably buy a bit retail. Would probably need to wait for some sort of pullback, maybe to the top of initial balance high. That might be an area. Daily VWAP, something along those lines. Now, certainly, if price comes back to the low end of value, that would be a location as well. Okay, to participate in a short. Okay, so we have a few levels to keep an eye on to participate on the short side. Okay, in this market. All right. Spotting to see if I have any questions before I move on to the crude oil market. I have okay. I have more than one settlement. Okay, let's get rid of one. Okay. Oh, I got rid of the one that's correct. Just get rid of this one here. Okay. All right. All right. So I think that's pretty much what I have for gold today. If there's any questions, I'm happy to entertain them now. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Like I said, gold looks bearish to me. It is extended to in one direction. I'm not keen on participating in the short on the low end. I'd like to see some sort of pullback to something, right? Whether it's IB high, whether it's daily VWAP or anchor VWAP, I need something as a reference level to support my short. Okay. Otherwise, if I'm looking long, equally, I need to look for a reference level on the left. And right now, I think 26.25 is the logical level. I think we've already exceeded both our average session ranges and daily ranges to the downside. Okay. So again, we need some reference level, and really the only one that's close is the second one is value area low. Oh, I got rid of that as a value area low. Okay. That's not going to come back. So that was, I think, 2694.1. Okay. I think that's what it was. Value area low. All right. Okay, guys. So I think that's pretty much what I have for gold. We're going to go ahead and move on to the crude oil market, and we're just going to open up this side of my charts. Was doing some analysis of this earlier. Okay, so we'll remove some of these things. All right, so here we are. I would suspect that crude oil is following gold's lead lower. Okay, so let's see if I can manage to get this a little bit. All right. Okay. All right. So looking at this chart, we'll start off with the weekly chart. Okay, weekly chart is indicating that there might be some more downside pressure on this market. You can see that we've been kind of in a range in this market of late. We're starting to make a series of lower lows and lower highs. We've actually been kind of, I guess, in a range, say from 80 down to 68 for some time. Okay. And now we're, coming back to some of these levels again. Okay. The last time we were here We managed to rally, but we did not rally back to the highs. So again, we made a new low, right? So again, fair amount of pressure here to the downside. Okay. All right. So looking at this from the daily perspective. So looking at this on the daily chart, we can see that we opened the day lower. Okay, we had a bearish engulfing candle followed by another, strong Maribozu type style candle here. Okay, so again, indications are that prices want to head lower. Okay, in this market. 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. Okay, we have a series of lower lows and lower highs here. Okay, we've broken some structure here, and we're about to break structure here. Looks like we're destined to see 67. Okay, 67 before we make any significant move in the opposite direction. Okay, seems like we're destined to see 67 in this market. All right. Let's see. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. Looking at the 30-minute chart, we are below our daily VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and open up my anchor VWAP up on the top of this here. And that is also equally, I'm going to change the color of this to something other than, distinguish this a little bit. Okay, so there's our anchor VWAP and our daily VWAP here. Next order of business for me would be to open up the fixed range volume profile and locate the start of the session on Friday. There it is. I'm going to drag that across to the close. And here we are. Okay, so this is our value area range here. Okay, so this is value area high, which we reacted away from in the middle of London. Okay, and we crushed value area low. Okay, so we had a nice reversal. Okay, I need to probably start waking up at London time more. We had a nice reversal off of value area high here. Okay, a nice reference level to take on a short. Okay. Let's see what else can I add here. Initial balance range is still not in the cards yet. Market has not yet opened. So let's go ahead and add our levels here, guys. All right, here are our levels that we're tracking in this market. Okay, make this visible. All right, so there's our supply area. Move some of these. Oh, I think I can move some of these away. Okay. All right, so there's a couple areas I want to call out here is our value area low, which is coming in at 70.09. Okay, we have our settlement price at 70.38, which is above this level here, close to our point of control. Okay, we have a 4-hour demand area that I identified at 68.74, which we seem to be reacting off of at the moment. Okay, so this could be an area. Get rid of this. Okay, this could be an area where we could see a potential reversal in price. Okay, given the large extension that we've had here to the downside. Okay, but I wouldn't expect this to really go much farther than, say, maybe the daily VWAP or maybe back to value area low. That's kind of that would be kind of my view of the extent of this move. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up my DMI. Okay, just to get a feel for what the DMI directional movement indicator is saying. Okay, so we have some settings that we need to change here. It's going to make this in the green, this into red. We're going to get rid of this, change this to a baby blue, and we're going to get rid of ADR altogether. Okay, So you can see here that we've been in a steady, a steady momentum to the downside. Okay. We just opened initial balance here. All right. Which is quite narrow at the moment. Could stretch this out here a little bit, make this a little bit more visible. Wish I could get rid of this thing here. It's right smack in the middle of the chart. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and draw in our tentative initial balance range. So this is the 6 a.m. bar. So we're going to go ahead and draw a line here, right about this level here, and then another line right about here. Okay. This is the initial balance range is far from being complete. I've already having to adjust this lower. Okay. All right. So again, a lot of selling pressure in this market. Okay. Similar to what we discussed with the gold. Really not interested in a short. Okay. Without 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 a pullback of some sort. Okay. I need some sort of retracement back to some sort of reference level that I can then lean on and use as a reference for a short trade. Okay. Like I said, we are starting to see some price action around this 4-hour demand zone. Okay. That is offering maybe an opportunity that would take us back potentially up to the 69.14. Okay. But given the strength of this move here, I'm not really embracing this as a long that's going to take us, back to the highs of the day here. Okay. Certainly possible, not out of the question. Okay. But given the strength here, I'm really kind of tempering my expectations here a little bit and saying that, yes, I can see how we can get up to maybe anchor VWAP, daily VWAP, maybe up to value area low. Okay. So those are kind of my expectations in this market here. See if I can actually stretch this out here a little bit so it becomes a little bit more visible. Okay. So here we are in that range, right? We see this is the 530 candle. That's not the candle I need. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in this market right now. I would say that I'm looking for opportunity. I'm looking for an opportunity to paint here. I'm looking for an opportunity to go short, okay? But I understand that I am in an area, right? A 4-hour demand zone, okay? This 4-hour demand zone could create a situation where it does take it back up to a prior level of support, at which point I would want to be a part of this, okay? So 69.11 is the line in the sand that I've drawn for myself to participate in the short in this market, okay? So that's kind of what I'm seeing now. I could potentially, if I could, there's enough, I guess, room, I guess, to take a long trade. But my expectations here would need to be muted here a little bit. I can get maybe I can place a stop here under structure and take something back up to this price. I just don't see that as a really strong trade, to be honest. Maybe slightly 1-to-1 kind of trade that would provide. Okay, so I think the best order of business would be to continue to look for shorts and basically wait for and alert myself or set alerts for VWAP or anchor VWAP so that I can participate in this continuation trade to the downside. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the crude oil market. I'm going to adjust this initial balance range here a little bit. Okay, the more narrow the range, okay, then that we end up getting here, the more significant the extension we might see. Okay, so again, I'm going to be waiting for this extension to happen, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. I'm going to temper my expectations on the longs, right? That maybe it can get back up to anchor VWAP before we see any sort of continuation move to the downside. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking for this same location to serve as a continuation trade to the downside. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the crude oil market. I've already kind of established our levels here on the right, so I think we're good to go from a level perspective. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So before I move on to the equity markets, I see that we still have a fair number of folks who uh, who have not hit the like button. Okay, so would encourage those folks to if I've provided you any sort of value in analysis here with crude oil and gold, I would encourage you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to be alerted of future sessions like this. Okay, and yeah, again, the likes and subscribes go a long way to allow me to continue to support these sessions. Okay, all right. So okay, that's what I wanted to say on that front. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on. Looks like I got at least a couple. I nudged the couple to the like side. Okay. Let's move on to the uh, equity markets. Okay, so first equity market we're going to look at is the Nasdaq, everybody's favorite market here. And again, I was doing some analysis of this market yesterday. If I can remove some drawings, that would be excellent. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the 30-minute, not the 30-minute chart, but the weekly chart to start. Okay. So here we are. We're breaking new highs in this market. The week started with a bullish candle. Okay. Market has made some higher highs and higher lows. We've broken some structure here at, I don't know, 20,240. I don't know if that's going to sustain, whether that's going to hold or not. We've got a relatively, it's still a bullish candle, not that impressive, but the week just started. Okay. So 21,240, I would say, is an important level to hold for the bulls. Okay. Otherwise, we might get into maybe a little bit of a pullback into some of these other areas like 20,718 before we make any sort of significant end roads higher. Okay. All right. So weekly chart still very much bullish. Daily chart, I would assume is the same. Okay. So we'll take a look at that. So the daily chart has opened higher here. We had this kind of a neutral close Friday. Okay, not really understanding exactly what direction to take the market. We have price above our 233-day EMA, which is also bullish. Okay, so a lot of bullish indications in this market. Okay, VWAP looks like price is also above VWAP. All right, so let's go ahead and move down to the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, okay, we have our series of candles here up on the top end of the market. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw in. I'll actually open up maybe some of these levels. This was, I'm not sure exactly what the green and there's settlement and there's weekly kickoff. Okay, and last week's low. Okay. All right, so there's our settlement price. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and draw in here is move down to the 30-minute chart and start to draw in my fixed range volume profile and take a look and see where we're at in this market. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to extend this out here a little bit, stretch this out, hide this. I don't need that. Stretch that out. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to start with my fixed range volume profile. I'm going to locate the open of Friday, drag that to the close. It's right there. So you can see that we're well above value here. Okay, with this move. All right, there's our value area low. The very value area high, I should say. This is our value area low. Okay. So we're well above the market. We have price looks like it's beginning to challenge our daily VWAP, but you can see here we've been kind of ranging. Why do I say we're ranging? Well, price is breaching and getting above our VWAP, right? Price above, price below, price above, price below, above, below now. Okay. All right. So again, it's hard to read based on VWAP what direction they're looking to take the market. Okay. Right now, VWAP is not really offering us much in the way of an idea. Okay. So if I go ahead and also add my anchor VWAP at the start of London, well, that's also giving me kind of mixed signals. Okay. I've had price reach above only to be met with sellers. Okay. So difficult to say, what difficult to understand what to make of the market at the moment. Okay, Nasdaq market. We are above some prices here. I would say that this level here at I don't know 21,260 would be a level that I would be interested in. Maybe 21,270 might be an area that I would be interested in to maybe to continue in this kind of range behavior. Okay. Also, obviously, this value area high, let's call it at 21,240, would be another level that I would be interested in to participate to the long side. Okay. Um, so let's go ahead and add our levels here to this chart. Okay. So we'll go ahead and add our levels. Okay. There's our levels to the chart. Okay. We're just going to spot check some of these. So we have our ADR zones at 21,412. That's well above the market. We have our average daily ranges lows. We're coming to them, right? We have 21,112, which is down in this area here. Okay, which is awfully low. And then we have 21,090 also on the lower side. So yeah, down in this area down here. Okay. So what to make of this market? Well, I think we need to be patient with it. I think like I said, there's evidence of ranging price action here of late. Okay, ever since the close, we've been kind of ranging. All right. So yeah, we need to wait. We need to wait for a better level. Okay. And so what are some of the better levels? Well, I would say that this value area high would be a good level. I would say maybe 21,260 might be another level that you might want to entertain us to the long side. But yeah, nothing really clear to me at this point. I'm going to wait for the initial balance range to establish. Okay. And see what opportunities it provides. We're seeing that price is trying to get below both our anchor VWAP and our daily VWAP. But like I said before, we've been down this road before here, right? We got price to close below and it rallied back. We price closed below and it rallied back. So I don't know about you. I don't know how many times I need to see this before to say, well, I'm not going to react all that much if it closes below. Okay. I need to treat this as kind of range price action. Okay. So yeah, so I would say that we need to, wait for the market to kind of open up here, wait for the market to establish, a direction, and then at that point, participate. I think there's maybe where is settlement 21,226. I think there's maybe a possibility that price will come down to settlement, this baby blue area here. Okay. Before it makes any sort of significant move to the upside. I think that's a possibility. I think there's also a possibility that price gets down to value area high. Okay. But I don't know. It's right now we have a series of 3 candles, okay, that are bearish. Okay. So if I had to go in any direction, I would say that I would probably be looking for short, but I would be super wary of 21,270. Okay, I would look to see what 21,270 does to price, and whether or not we get any sort of reaction to 21,270. And if we do, then that would kind of spoil that idea. Okay. So right now we're in range. Right now, I would say we need to wait for initial balance to form, which is another 15 minutes or so, and then see what direction that the market makers want to take the market, or what the market participants want to take the market, and then react from there. Reacting prior to that is kind of a it's kind of a crapshoot. It can go in either direction here, as far as I'm concerned. We have levels here that are supportive and have shown to be supportive here. And unless this is broken, then and by the time this breaks, okay, we're coming into some other levels that could be supportive, right? So not a great area for me, honestly. If I had, like I said, if I had to err on one direction and I was looking for a trade maybe to value area high or settlement, it would be on the bearish side. Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much what I have for the NASDAQ. Go ahead and save this away. We'll go ahead and open up the ES. Okay, so there's the ES market. We'll start with our daily review, or actually start with our weekly review, a 1 week plot, and see. Okay, well, this seems a bit stronger, all right, than what we were seeing in the Nasdaq. Okay, actually, maybe it's just a matter of how much compression I put on this chart. But in any case, if I didn't tell you this was the ES, this looks awfully like the Nasdaq on the weekly chart. Okay, so nothing really out of the ordinary here. We still remain in this kind of bullish structure to the upside. Okay, we have a developing bullish candle that's starting out the week. Let's see if I can open this up that tells us anything. This is our DMI. Our positive DI is headed higher. Our ADX is starting to slope higher, but really hasn't gotten above any sort of level that I would care about to indicate that there's some strength behind the move to the upside. Moving on to the daily. Let's pull that down now. Moving on to the daily here, looking at the daily chart. So here's our daily chart. We have our series of bullish candles kind of grinding our way higher. We've broken some structure here at 59.18, which I suspect will be supportive at some point in the future. Okay, this area would be a supportive area in the future. What was resisted becomes support. Okay, so that would be an area I would target. And I understand that we're well above that. We're 1,000 points, above that level at this point. Okay, but I would expect that this level will be supportive at some point. Okay, again, continue to making series of higher highs. Okay, here. Okay, looks the market. This chart looks very much bullish. All right. Looking at the what was that? Was that 4 hour? No, 4 hour chart. Okay, for our chart, continue to grind higher. Okay, can't say that I'm overly impressed with the candles that are forming on the 4 hour chart. This kind of tells me that maybe it's tiring here a little bit. Okay, and that might create a situation where we get a little bit of a pullback, maybe down to 6,010. That might be a logical area for price to return to and maybe continue from. Okay, if it does get below 6,000 and maybe gets below 59.93, then we start to explore some of the levels that I had mentioned earlier, right? This level around 59.18. Okay, but first order of business for me is to see if we get a pullback here around to 60.10. If we do get a pullback to 60.10, that might be an area that I would like to maybe look to participate to the upside. Okay. Looking at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, we're starting to see some candles that might indicate that there might be some sellers in the market. Okay, so we are right on top of our daily VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchor VWAP here at the start of London, which is right about here. Okay, so we're below our anchor VWAP. We kind of created a little bit of a doji pattern here right on our daily VWAP. So, this would be a logical area for price to rally from. Okay. We're not seeing as much overlap in price or around VWAP like we did in the Nasdaq. Okay, this seems to be a much clearer bullish to me, as long as price can stay above daily VWAP and price can stay above let's call it 60-49 or 60-40, then I would say that that there's more upside to this market. Okay. Let's go ahead and move into our let's see, levels here. I'm just going to go ahead and add some levels to this. Okay, here are levels. Okay, here are the levels that we're tracking it for this market here. Okay, so we have our average daily range high coming in at 66 above. We have our average daily range low coming in at 59.95, which is down this area, well below. Okay. Let's see if I can pull up my just kind of looking for my ASR low, guys, and I need to pull that off of a different platform, so bear with me. Let's see.